Hi guys, Ricky Pope here from the Christian Nerds Unite podcast. On the show, we dive deep into our nerdy fandoms and look at them through the lens of our faith by chatting with Christian content creators and experts who love comics, science, video games, media, sci-fi, and fantasy, discovering how their faith shapes their creative work and their lives. You can listen on your favorite podcast app or find links to everything at ChristianNerdsUnite.com.
Grady Powell, host of Forged in Fire.
Kyle Mann.
I'm J. Warner Wallace.
Kira Davis.
This is Ben Adams. Hey, this is Dave Baker.
Carrie Pomeroli.
This is Mike Reiner.
This is Ethan Nicole.
This is Leah Morgan.
It's Graham Parker, the 5th GP, and this is why you should never.
How I got suckered in.
I'm so embarrassed that I'm here.
You're wasting your time. You got better things to do.
Never listen.
Those darling, yummy Reverend and the Reprobate.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Reverend and the Reprobate, a show where two best buds interview people they have no business talking to, and today that person is sitting right here in betwixt us.
I think we do have business talking to Camden, though.
You know what? I've got a lot of business actually with Camden that we need to address today.
What did I do?
But don't you worry about it. You'll find out.
Well, first off,
you'll find
you're
out.
getting all growed up, and we don't like it. We want you to stay our intern forever.
But in the meantime, hey, I'm Lucas Pinkerton, actual Reverend, and here with me, as always.
Oh yeah, the intro
is Big Dan Flip Gibson. What's going on, man?
Howdy. What's going on?
You am in a foul mood.
I generally. Yes, I am.
Yeah. This is a role reversel because typically it's me that comes on a little stressed out and
I'm just
angsty.
Relentlessly poking at you.
Yeah.
I'm in a foul mood.
I'm not relentlessly poking at you, though.
Typically, Thursdays are my worst day, and I'm irritated all day. We're starting that early today on Wednesday, which is when we're recording.
Yeah, this is when we record.
If I were to rank the days...
So this is your Thursday?
Yeah, the worst day of the week? Thursday.
You know, I've always kind of felt like Tuesday was the worst day of the week.
Possibly. Because you've had the worst day of the week, what everyone thinks it should be, which is Monday.
Hold on.
Mondays are typically not the worst day for me.
No, because
I get to see people I haven't seen in a couple days. I got stuff coming up, that came up over the weekend. I go, good, I get to go take care of this. Mondays are not terrible.
Next Tuesday.
Tuesdays are no good.
Next Tuesday.
Thursdays are the worst.
Which is the second Tuesday in August.
And Wednesdays right now
The second Tuesday in August, mostly because he doesn't want to be here with us, Camden, that's what it is. The second Tuesday in August at 2:00 is supposed to be the worst time of the year because it's when we're the farthest removed from the weekend, days off, any kind of holiday or anything like that.
I had that too. I looked at the holidays. I looked at the holidays coming up, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Mid-September.
There's just kind of one, and then November.
Yeah, we haven't had anything since the 4th of July, and we won't again until Labor Day.
But yeah, I'm interested to know what you guys think the worst days of the week are. I'm sure you'll disagree with me, and you'll be wrong. Thursdays are the worst.
Or they'll disagree with you, and that'll be par for the course since it's a Thursday.
Just like breakfast is the worst meal of the day.
Oh, no.
But it does have some of the best foods.
Yeah. It's only, bacon can be used anywhere.
I'm talking pancakes are really delicious.
Don't care about pancakes.
So
I don't like scrambled eggs.
You don't like scrambled eggs?
I mean, they're all right, but standalone, no.
It's
just a deconstructed burrito where you
nice
put
omelet.
It's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Breakfast has great foods.
I'd rather have a steak, which I know you can have at breakfast, but breakfast stole that from dinner.
I don't know about that.
They did.
I don't think so.
Steak is a lunch and dinner, primarily dinner.
I was going to say, steak is dinner.
And lunch and breakfast stole it, which is fine.
Steak and eggs is
because you can have breakfast
good
for dinner, but why would you do that?
But because you can't afford the steak every night? You eating steak every night?
No. You don't have to have steak. But
I'm just saying that's pretty posh for you to throw out there.
No, it's just an example.
I mean, who would want to have breakfast for dinner when you can come to my house and have steak every night?
If you do it right, you can have steak on a budget.
Every night?
No, probably not every night.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
No, not every night.
You can have steak on a budget, but every night.
But to your point, you can't have cereal every morning.
I mean, cereal every morning is pretty inexpensive in comparison to steak.
And it's also dumb and gross.
Cereal's a good snack. Yeah. Unless you're talking about hot cereal. I do love a good bowl of oatmeal.
Whatever.
So, we digress.
Anyway. I have some news. which will transition perfectly into today's episode.
Okay.
I watched The Last Jedi.
Oh,
I did my
nice.
homework.
Well, good. That is news.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to catch up at all with what Mr. Camden did last week, or do we want to dive right into?
Sure. Well,
Camden Becomes a Star Wars?
I'd say we tease what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Which
This is
Camden
Becomes a Star Wars Episode 8, the most controversial of all Star Wars episodes.
We have been training in our corners. We've been doing push-ups and getting ready to come out swinging.
Yeah. So you asked me off air about what happened to my eyeball.
Yeah. Did you get cut? You gotta cut
I
it.
started scratching it out when I was watching episode 8. No, actually, so Levi, he's cutting like at least 4 teeth right now. Yeah, so he's waking up, like he goes to bed at like 7:30. Well, he wakes up at midnight, and then we give him a bottle. Then when normally he's up like 4:30 after that. So I went and I take the 4:30 feeding, and then I get ready to go to the gym since we're gonna have abs by next Christmas. Christmas 2024. So when I brought him, like I gave him the bottle, it's Saturday. I'm not going to bring him to bed. Oh, sorry. No. This is Monday. So I'm not going to take him to, to the gym with me, but I'm also not going to put him back in bed. I'm going to go to the gym a little later. So we hang out in the bed with Mom.
What happened to your eye?
And he's
the longest setup.
He's crawling over to Mom.
Uh-huh.
And he's in like the little sleep sack, so he's not moving around real well. His legs are a little stuck, and so he grabs Mom's face and he scratches Mom on the eyelid. And then she was like, "Oh, honey!" And then he turns because Mom exclaimed,
Took a swipe at Dad, huh?
and then he scratched Dad
Just
right
like a good
on the
book.
eyeball, just one right
Mom
after the other.
exclaimed, Dad turned.
Yeah, and he got both of us on our... Now, you can tell which side of the bed we each sleep on because he got us both on the inside eye. So it's her left eye and my right eye that both got
Riz can be a
annihilated.
verb. I think maybe Dad was risen. No, go ahead. He got you in the eye. He got you in the eye.
Yeah, he got me in the eyeball, and so my eye's red. And anybody who watched the Christian Nerd HQ download from August 1st, those who have keen eyes will see that I put my contacts in, not thinking that there was like this minor irritation on my eye, and it really flared up after that. So I've had
eyes were just
I've had to
shining.
move back to my spectacles. Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
So let's catch up with Camden.
Camden.
Now that I know about your terrible eye.
Yeah, well, thank you.
It's just
It's
just hurting something terrible.
This is what happens when he's in a foul mood. Is that he starts to behave like me, right? And then and he doesn't understand that there's courtesies of like everyone else not like poking him with a big sharp stick.
I don't care about courtesies.
Yeah,
I don't get
no.
courtesies in real life.
I'm giving them to you right now. This is Grace Extended. Camden, Danley has questions for you.
How was camp? I guess
It
is
was
what we're
good.
catching up on,
Yeah,
right?
Camden went on a mission trip to Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
I did.
Real down in the dumps, that place. Third world country, boy. Let me tell you what.
Pretty close.
I'm saying
actually.
that to my mom because she's from Pine Bluff. And,
Oh.
and she'll really appreciate that I'm talking crap about it.
It was actually featured in an article
I know.
in a Canadian magazine
I know,
that
it's
says,
garbage.
"Has
It's a
America
garbage city."
become third world?"
Yeah.
Like, quite literally, Pine Bluff, Arkansas was featured there.
I mean, it wasn't the fanciest place in the world, but it wasn't that bad.
I apologize for this segment, but Pine Bluff needs our children to go over there and build them a park.
We didn't build them a park.
They need
talk
our
about us.
children.
The parks
to go
were actually
over-
pretty cool.
Talk to us about what you did do.
What did the children do?
So the first 2 days, we
This is youth mission trip.
yes,
Youth.
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 It's the children of the youth.
The youth of America. The two youths.
Why are you not featuring this more prominently? The donut fryer, fantastic.
Yeah.
sticker,
It is
by the way.
fantastic.
Yeah. So, talk to us more about camp.
Yeah.
Other than you went.
I did go.
Okay.
Ugh.
I feel like I've heard
so-
this part of the story already.
I feel like I hear
So-
this every time I ask my son how school was.
Good.
Yeah, good. I went.
Yeah, I was there.
It was-
Goodbye.
I gotta go. That's what happens. What did you do? What happened?
I don't want to
What
talk to you
tools
about
did
it. I'm going to go complain to Mom.
Yeah, what tools did you use? Did you use any power tools?
Yeah.
What kind?
Yeah.
Just impact drill.
That's pretty baller.
I'm a very baller person.
Did you send in some good screws down in there?
Yeah.
What kind? How long?
3-inch.
What were the heads on the screws?
Flat.
Star.
They were flatheads.
Flatheads? Ugh.
Yeah.
That was. Hold on. What kind of bit
what kind
did
of
you
budget
have to use?
What kind of budget are y'all working on? You got to use flatheads.
They were bolts, not screws. The impact.
Oh,
it's a little different, but still,
that
flathead is far inferior to the Phillips and preferably Star.
See, I don't love the Star because it's too
Because
easy.
you lose the head?
Yeah, but it's also too easy to, as my granddad would say, waller it out.
Yeah.
Does that mean strip it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It means
yeah,
you turn
basically
that
like-
star into a circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite screw when it comes to building things is the flathead screw.
Yeah.
It's the flathead screw that is missing the northwestern and southeastern parts of the screw, so that you can screw it in, but once it's screwed in, you can't unscrew it because there's nothing for it to catch on. You see this a lot in bathrooms. Like, it's most often what's used for the urinal partitions. If you ever look at those screws, they're screwed in such a way that if you were to try to unscrew it, what would happen is that your screw head would just pop out. Yep. That's my favorite.
That's very specific.
So you
pretty
use,
Pacific.
So you use an impact drill.
Yep.
I did.
3/8 inch bolt. That's it?
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that camp? Was that a wrap?
That was it.
We also painted and
Was
gardened.
it like a 10 millimeter head? What kind of socket did you use to get them bolts in?
1/2 inch, I think.
What kind of paint
Oh,
was
that's
it?
a big bolt.
Was that paint oil based?
I don't know.
Was
it came in a 5-gallon
Probably
bucket.
was
it
oil-based.
indoor? Yeah, I wouldn't think it was oil based if it came in a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
That oil based paint is
Latex.
expensive, yeah, or acrylic.
Yeah.
Is it outdoor paint? Is that what you guys
Yeah.
use? Outdoor paint?
Was it high gloss, semi gloss,
matte finish?
matte?
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, God be praised.
Okay, so what
we
kind
used
of
some
work did
paint.
you did? You painted the outside of a Boys and Girls Club. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
We also
I am in a bad mood today.
So salty.
we also gardened. We like cleaned up an overgrown area behind the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, that's cool. Did you get to use a
good
bush
job.
hog?
Yeah. What kind of power tools did you use there?
None.
Oh man, the bush hog is a fun apparatus to get to use.
Is that the weed eater
Apparatus.
that's like
Yeah.
designed to just like chop
Yeah,
everything down?
it's
that's
the
in front
weed
of it?
eater that looks almost like a tiller.
Yeah.
But instead of it having like the till thing, the front of it looks a lot more like the business end of a wood chipper, and you just got these two handles, and you go, "Wah," and it literally
Destroys everything in its
eats
path?
everything in there, and then
Like
there's
if
a
you're
little
going-
shoot out of the side
like if
that
you're
anybody
going-
that gets rained on gets poison ivy.
Like maybe Saruman would have won against the Ents if he had had some bush hogs.
yes, that's exactly
If all
right.
the orcs had bush hogs, it would have been a different game.
Coming right up to him with a bunch of John Deeres, and that's it.
Oh boy!
How did they end up winning the war? Well, Mordor signed a
John
deal
Deere.
with John Deere,
Yeah,
and so they got it all wholesale.
They signed up
and,
with
you know,
Randy Dan's operators.
You know how that goes. They met old John at the Waffle House, and then Sauron just put it all together. Next thing you know, the forest was gone, and
They got a good deal on preventative
it's
maintenance.
sort of the end of it. Yeah. Okay. So,
All right, cool. Camp
so
was
you,
fun.
You took care of some bushwhacking out back. And
I already asked him how the guitar player was at camp. He said there wasn't one. And I said, good, so I'm still top dog.
Yeah, that's got to be comforting.
It is. Was
Yeah,
there
it
a
was-
bass player? No, just piano.
Yeah, it was just piano and vocal.
So, one thing you might not know, Danley,
I don't.
Camden was prominently featured as a dancer during
on the last day.
during this.
What dance did you do?
The World Changers dance.
Yeah, so there's a song that goes along with this particular mission camp.
Yeah.
You can be a world changer, shining the light for those in danger, sharing the love of our Lord and Savior. You can change the world. Okay, so now Camden,
good.
I'm going to do this again, and you do the dance.
Do I
Just
have
floss?
to?
Oh yeah, you got to do the. Your flossing in the chair looks so effortless. It's beautiful. So Camden was called up to the front to do this dance. You can be a world Camden, go for it. Come on.
I'm gonna like smack something.
You don't have to stand up. You can do all the choreography seated.
Do you know the marvelous Mrs. Maisel dance?
World changer, shining the light for those in danger, sharing the love, sharing oh my god! So he doesn't know the words. So when I went to World Changers, we were staying. It would be like 200 or 300 kids. We'd stay in a middle school.
Not that much,
right? So do you remember the kind of showers in middle schools and high schools in the 90s? They were in the athletic rooms. It was as we lovingly called them, the see you at the polls showers. Because there was like one pole, right? And like...
Oh, and a bunch of heads up top.
A bunch of heads up top, and you'd have to push the button and all that. So we changed the World Changers lyrics whenever I went.
Icky situation
and
there.
It was, you could be a shower taker, sharing the soap and a dirty razor. Drop the soap and you're in danger. You could take a shower. Go on and take a shower.
No, I haven't heard that particular version.
We had hand motions.
To be fair, I haven't heard the original version until just now.
So the hand motions for that would be NSFP, not safe for podcasting.
For sure.
But
NSFP
there were some not safe for podcasting in church. Nailed it. Have you ever run across these things where people like put a string of letters together and they're like, if you know, you know, and you kind of look at them and just start to figure it out.
I saw one where there was a mom that was yelling at her kid and just had like 19 letters. I was like, I know exactly what all of that is.
Don't make me get off this couch.
Boy, if I gotta tell you one more time to get your
yeah. That's it's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Kirsten showed me one of those the other day, and it was like DYKTMM. And I was like,
do you know the Mountain Man?
Muffin Man. The Mountain Man. Do you know the Mountain Man?
I don't know, right? I didn't have the visual in front of me to put together.
I know that nursery rhyme by heart. Do you know the Mountain Man, the Mountain Man, the Mountain Man? Do you know the Mountain Man who says, get off my lawn? It's a pretty...
Everyone knows it. Everyone knows what guy we're talking about.
And how will we fill it, dear Liza, dear Liza?
I will give credit that Muffin Man makes a lot more sense.
It does make I actually think like the idea of knowing the Muffin Man makes sense. The question, do you know the Mountain Man, seems like that does make more sense. Everybody would know the Muffin Man because he makes the muffins. A wonderful breakfast pastry. Whereas
full of sugar and nothing else.
And blueberries, antioxidants. So, do you know the Mountain Man seems like a much better question, because if I was to be like...
much better for Bear Grylls.
Do you know the Mountain Man? I'd be like, which Mountain Man?
I know a lot of Mountain Men.
I probably don't know the Mountain Man. Like, oh, you ought to meet the Mountain Man, the Mountain Man, the Mountain Man. And then we'd have to make it up from there. It's not as Danley and I are swapping spots today, it's not a fully fleshed out idea.
No, it's not. And cut.
And scene. Mark,
that's what you say.
Mark
for editing.
Yep. So
man.
Overall, you enjoyed it?
Yes, very much.
Yeah, next year you will be tasked with helping Aaron, as you're one of the youth leaders now, you'll be tasked with helping Aaron determine location and things like that. You thinking World Changers is something you want to go back to?
Youth leader?
Yeah, you're one of the older kids in the youth group. You're a geriatric youth.
Now that our youth pastor is engaged, do you want to be the next youth pastor?
That's not how this works.
I don't have the power to offer that?
No, you don't.
They don't get engaged and stop being youth pastors?
Cheers. I didn't get to stop being pastor because I got engaged.
Youth pastor?
No.
I think that's what happens to youth pastors is they disappear.
It depends.
They get married and
but he's in his 20s, so...
They die at that point.
No, he doesn't. He's got to wait till he's 30 before he can leave. So he's got a few good years left.
Right.
Anyway,
well, then you're up, Big Dog.
Yeah. So, are you wanting to do World Changers again next year, or
sure,
like a mission trip or something, or would you prefer the Fun and Yucks camp?
I liked World Changers.
All right, well, there you go. There you have it. The kid likes to work, ladies and gentlemen, even with his 6-segrity table being continually topless.
It has kind of a top right now.
Did you finally get a piece of cardboard like Uncle Dan's been suggesting for months?
I had this little, like, basket thing in the corner of my room that I've had forever that just has a bunch of, like, basketballs and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And I just...
Like a laundry basket? Like a small laundry basket?
It's like, it's metal, but it's just like wire metal. Kind of. I don't know how to describe it.
Wire metal seems...
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, I understand that.
And I just like took it apart.
Send me a picture and we'll put it right here.
I'll do that later. I can't do it right now.
Doubtful. All right. So you finally did it.
Star Wars.
You watched Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Now, here's what you don't know. Danley loves this movie, and I hate it.
I didn't think you liked this one.
Well, trick's on you. The opposite is actually true.
Yeah, because we've swapped places today.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say, I don't think that's right.
I'm grumpy and informed, and you're fun.
Yeah. You know what? This actually feels great. No wonder you're always in such a good mood. Yeah. Being fun is it's a nice change of pace.
To start this off,
I got great news today.
What?
I'm not sharing it, but I got great news today. So,
congratulations.
Well, I'm glad for you.
Thank you.
To start off this Star Wars, I think it is fair to say that historically we have disagreed on this.
Yeah, on this one more than any other.
Yeah. And the fabulously talented David Jesse of Tatooine Sons, and really his whole clan.
Except for
the
the lovely Mrs. Tatooine Sons.
Oh.
She doesn't like Star Wars
she doesn't like it at all. So she doesn't count.
So
her vote doesn't count here because she doesn't
like this one because she hears about this
that's
one
That's a perfectly fine outlook to have, unless you're looking at all of the Star Wars movies and what's good and what's bad. If you think all of them are bad, check that. Yeah. We're good.
She likes the Princess Diaries.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's a great film.
We've got that in common.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. And Anne Hathaway, pretty cute.
But, so...
How do you like Anne Hathaway's shoulders? Just continuing down my being Dan.
Answer the question.
I can't picture what Anne Hathaway looks like.
So The Last
Jedi.
My
wife, actually.
So we continue The Force Awakens with the new chapter in Star Wars with a new young Jedi, Rey, Finn, the former stormtrooper, and then I forget his name.
Poe Dameron. Oscar Isaac, who is now part of like every sci-fi fantasy. He's in everything now.
He's in Dune. He's in Marvel. He's
a couple of things in Marvel. He's Moon Knight. He's also Apocalypse from X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah. He is Poe Dameron in
that movie
in the Star Wars. Oh yeah, it did. It was a
Moon
Fox.
Knight was pretty cool. I liked the first half of the season.
Yeah,
but we're digressing.
Yeah. Poe Dameron is also in this movie.
So what did you think about it? And by the way, when I was watching it, real quick, I took notes like you did.
Nice. So here you go, on a scale, because Camden loves these morbid scales. So we talked about this. Uncle Dan was outside on a phone call that made him grumpy. And while he was out there doing that, Camden talked to me and he was like, listen, I gotta go dark again.
I don't remember this conversation.
This is going to be on a scale.
I overheard this.
On a scale of 0 to 10 roasted porgs. What do you think of
It's those little penguin.
Don't pretend
penguins.
don't pretend like you don't know.
Those little guys are like, wow.
Oh,
yeah.
They see Chewbacca cooking one of their friends.
All of a sudden you're playing coy, like, oh, I don't know what a porg is when you came up with this scale.
I did not come up with
0
this
to 10
scale.
roasted porgs. How many you give it?
You knew.
Hold on, drum roll.
16.
Like a 6.
Out of 10?
Yes.
So this puts it in.
Well, we have used this. To be fair, we have used this scale before on a scale of 1 to 10, with 6 being the highest.
We have.
So is this your favorite movie, or are you using a standard scale of 10?
This is a standard scale.
Okay. So this for you rates with The Phantom Menace.
Sure.
Yeah, because that was your only other
Camden
6.
once again proving very intelligent.
Yeah. All right.
I don't remember what they were all.
So what put you there?
Yeah, talk to us about your thoughts on
What made it
the Star Wars
What are some
classic.
good things that you liked about it?
I had a question very early on in the movie, and then that question got answered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
which was
you had a
what?
prediction that came true really fast. You said you claimed.
So I wrote,
How professional.
Amateur.
Unbelievable.
what happens if a ship hits something going light speed?
Oh, yeah.
And then later in the movie, a ship hits something going light speed.
Yeah.
So
That is actually one of my favorite moments.
Oh, for
I
sure.
hate everything leading up to it, but when it goes light speed and that cut, I don't even know how they did it because it's so different from anything I've ever seen in Star Wars. Where it almost like time pauses and you see the impact, but it hasn't really done anything yet, and then it catches up. That's such a cool scene. There's several scenes in this movie that I think are beautiful.
This is the genius of Rian Johnson.
Sure.
In
His cinematography and not directing?
Oh, for sure. I
Not
don't
storytelling?
know, man. I think Knives Out is pretty good. So was Glass Onion, which were both his. They're pretty fantastic.
Knives Out was pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't see Glass Onion.
It's
Or I fell asleep.
It's essentially like the sequel to Knives Out.
Yeah, I know.
So
I saw it, but I fell asleep.
because you watched it like after what, like 4:30 or 5?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't last very long with movies.
No.
If it's 2 hours, I'm out.
No, yeah, Danley's got a window between
I've got a
11
hard-
a.m. and 4 p.m. where he can watch movies.
I literally have sleep mode. That if there's 30 minutes of inactivity, sleep.
Yeah, you're up. Okay, so you saw that, you thought it was pretty cool. What other things in the film did you like?
I did not like Purple Hair Lady. I wrote
Yeah.
that.
Me either.
Admiral Holdo. Yep.
Me either. Mainly it's I don't like Laura Linney.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
A lot of it is her kind of outside of the movie. I just don't like the actress as much. I of course loved Jurassic Park. That's not what we're talking about. But I don't know. I didn't
not what
like
we're
her character. I
talking
didn't like her
about,
acting. I didn't like that she was there. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. What did you think about Leia flying through space?
Oh, whenever she like almost died.
Yeah, when she's in space, and then
But what do you think of Laura Dern?
oh, is that the actress? Oh. I don't like her. Who did I say? Laura Linney?
Yeah, it's
Something like
nice to
that.
know how you feel about Laura Linney, who does look very similar.
I just got it mixed up. But Laura Dern is the one I'm thinking of.
Yes, Laura Dern.
I wonder if Laura Linney was Laura Dern in Jurassic Park. Do I have them mixed
yes,
up?
Laura Dern is Jurassic Park. Laura
Okay.
Linney
So
is Ozark.
I just got her name wrong. Then
How dare you? I can't believe it.
I don't know.
Oh,
So
freaking
Leia
dare
flying
you.
back in. What did you think?
Yeah.
I thought she was dead,
I did too.
but then she wasn't.
Are you just saying things that are true?
my goodness, what insight!
All right.
just-
Well, why don't we go to your book then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to the book. Ask us some questions.
Poe continues to be the GOAT.
In what way?
He's funny.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. He's an excellent pilot.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, whenever he like gets captured and the like dude who thinks he's all that is like questioning him.
Yeah, General Hux.
I don't know.
Yep.
The annoying dude. He's like questioning him, and Poe is just like being sarcastic.
Yeah.
And just owning him. That's a great scene.
Agreed.
Would kamikaze pilots be effective?
In space?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because like with the Vulture droids, which would have been the space fighters in the original, or I say in the original, in the prequel trilogy, they would have been the space fighters. They were not ever used, to my knowledge, as kamikazes. And if you were going to do that, that seems like the most effective one to do it with. So I don't know that it'd be super effective in space, especially with the shields. Because a lot of them would probably just blow up on the shields because they weren't large enough to make a static impact to disrupt the shields. That's my thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it's anyone's game at that point, I guess.
Yeah.
You're talking about the bombs?
Just like with kamikaze pilots.
Yeah,
be
like
effective
if
in
you
general.
just started like throwing X-Wings right at a
Yeah.
Death Star, I think that they wouldn't make much of an impact. I think the Death Star's shield would be able to shirk off an X-Wing.
I think so. I think that holds
It
water.
seems like it checks
it's
out,
big
right?
enough. It's
Yeah.
probably got a generator big enough to make a shield better than a What's the scope of a plane to a Death Star?
So I'm thinking, I'm also thinking, like, do you remember? You have to remember this. Battlefront 1 and 2, right? When you would do the planetary conquest, if you went directly towards we're in deep water right now, Camden. We're reliving. This would be original Xbox, right? Or this would be original Xbox, or maybe 360, right?
I think it was 360, but it doesn't matter.
So before you could invade a planet or go to reclaim a planet, you had a space battle that you had to go through in order to get the other.
It was so much fun.
It was a blast. So you could do one of two things. You could either go outside the giant starship that you were fighting and take out the shield generators, or you could fly into the hub. And, because they're sending starfighters out the entire time, you could fly into that door, get out of your ship, and then go and run in and try to destroy things. If you flew your ship into the larger ship, like your X-Wing or your A-Wing or whatever you were flying, if you flew it into the larger ship while the shields were still up, in particular the Star Destroyers, you would blow up and it wouldn't do anything to the shields. So that's kind of what I'm basing this off of. I
think it holds water.
Is us at 2 and 3 a.m. back when we did that, going, dang it, we're never gonna get Geonosis.
Oh man, some of those planets. But all right,
So Kamikaze is likely not gonna work.
Something that I just thought was funny was the subs for 3PO spelled it out. It said THREEPIO.
The subs?
The subtitles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird, and that's the only time it does it, as far as I remember.
Really?
It only does it once.
I've often thought that I would do a better job at subtitles than the most professional subtitlers.
Yeah, they spelled it out once, and then the rest of the time they just put 3PO.
I don't know. That's odd.
Was weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
What did you think about the... go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah.
I want to get into some of the meat and potatoes, but I do also want to hear your questions and your thoughts.
Because we got about 20 more minutes for us to argue.
Most of these are just random stuff. Snoke sucks.
Yeah.
In what way? In what way?
Man.
That's all I wrote. I just wrote Snoke sucks.
But what do you think? Like, you think that he's a bad villain, or that he's really evil and he sucks because of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah to what? You just said yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Snoke, the way that they did it, because, and we've talked about this before, J.J. Abrams has come out and said we should have had a plan whenever we did this.
They didn't have a plan?
They
just started
if
filming?
episode 9 does not... And
which you haven't seen.
You haven't watched it yet.
Right.
It goes through and does a lot of fan service instead of trying to build off of the storyline. Episode 9 had the same potential that episode 6 had, which was to build off of 5. I think episode 5 is so great because of episode 6. Otherwise, it's just a lot of character development. But because of the way you see everything come together in 6, it is the best of those because it is such a culminating part of the trilogy. I think 8 had the potential to be that, but I think that J.J. Abrams caved and went the fan service route and ruined it. And one of the things in particular that they ruined was Snoke, because it's if you're disappointed in Snoke now, just wait till you watch episode 9.
My favorite part of
is he not
Snoke.
Dead?
There was you'll see.
My favorite part of Snoke is Andy Serkis as Snoke.
Oh, for
Andy
sure.
Serkis is, if you know who that is?
I'm assuming he's the actor that plays Snoke.
He's the actor.
Yeah.
He does Gollum. He's in, man, there's a lot of stuff he's in.
He's Ulysses Claw in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He played Caesar the ape.
He plays Gollum, really?
Yeah. He plays Caesar the ape
Caesar
in Planet of the Apes. The new, there's like 4 movies.
The
they put out.
revamped Planet of the Apes.
He plays the ape.
Are those any good?
They're pretty good.
I haven't seen any
I gotta
of them.
say, at least the first couple of them, they're all pretty good. But the first couple are good.
I might have to check those
Andy
out.
Serkis as anything, I'll probably go watch it.
He is phenomenal, and he recently directed a bunch of stuff for Disney that was all really, really great. So yeah, you've got that. One of my favorite things to come out of this movie were the Snoke conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
One of which being that Jar Jar Binks was actually Snoke, and it's a whole I've got it bookmarked.
I miss it. Yeah, they missed out on that.
Man, they really did. There was a lot of cool stuff.
Because that would have been so great
done,
if they had made Jar Jar evil.
But they didn't. So anyway, keep going. What else you got?
The red Snoke guards remind me of the Queen of Heart guards in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. They are supposed to be a take on the Imperial Guard. The Praetorian Guard is what they are now.
Praetorians. Praetorians!
They are... What did you think of that battle between the Praetorian Guards and Rey and Kylo?
It was pretty good.
That was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
That is incredible the way that they pulled that together.
Great fight.
The fight choreography, cinematography again, top notch.
I did love I can see you turning your lightsaber and he's doing it and betraying him. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah, there's so much about that was so good. Yep.
I can't wait to get into one I didn't like.
Yeah, I know.
But right now, I'm just giving props where props are due.
Yeah, for sure.
There's some props on this.
Yep.
In addition to the salt planet, which I thought was incredible.
Yeah.
The colors that they got to play with making the white level on top, and then if they disturb it, it's red.
Yeah.
And not AT-ATs, but the new version of the AT-ATs.
The AT-ST, right?
No. The AT-ST is a two-legged one.
With the sky behind it and them staring down, and when Luke comes out and it's that shot, I still think about that shot.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
And when you see the spikes that are on the new, that I think it's the ATM-6 or the ATM-T or something like that, they have got the spikes so that you can't use the tow cables on them anymore. You see that they've evolved a little bit in the way that they're designing things.
So good.
We're going to get lost in the weeds if we don't ask Camden what else you got.
I ain't got much more. I wrote Chrome Dome got rocked.
She did.
Yep.
Also, since you brought that up, terrible line that she gives.
Which one?
The terrible line of "You are always scum, rebel scum." My eyes rolled so far in the back of my head when she says that to Finn. I go, just kill him.
Yeah.
Don't deliver a dumb line. Just fight him, kill him, end it, or you're dead. Oh, okay, or she's not dead.
She's another wasted character.
Don't make.
Yeah, she didn't really do much.
Don't make dumb dialogue. Because she is a cool character. She's got the potential.
So it's still Star Wars. So they're going to have dumb dialogue.
There wasn't dumb dialogue in the first three. What was dumb?
There's dumb dialogue in the first three.
What was it?
It's just not as obvious because...
I agree.
Because George Lucas...
Don't choke on your aspirations, which you don't know about yet, but another one, just... What are you doing?
Yeah, but that's your boy who wrote that one.
Lucas?
JJ.
Oh, he's not my boy.
JJ's your boy.
Nah.
Yep.
I do think I've liked a lot of his movies he's directed, but not recently.
No.
We agree on that. We agree on a lot.
Next, what else you got?
Why'd Luke leave?
Why did Luke leave what?
The Force?
Yeah.
I also had a problem with that.
Yep.
It bummed me out. I even wrote... I wrote, Andy Serkis is incredible.
Yes.
I hate where Luke is. Very negative outlook on Star Wars. He's just done with it all because of some mistakes. It's not the Luke that I feel. I get that they deepen the character and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
it's a
what
dark
they did.
Give up, Luke. I don't like it.
I kind of do. I think that this is one of the things. So what I've recently been doing in my podcast listening. Are you familiar with Marvel's The Wastelanders?
No.
Okay, so they did this series. They're picking it back up in 23 and 24. But they did this series in...
is this the Kung Fu?
No.
Okay, then no.
No, so in Q4 of 2021, they start this series, and it's... you follow 5 characters. Star-Lord, Black Widow, Wolverine, Hawkeye, and Victor Von Doom. And Dr. Doom has assembled...
Pretty killer lineup.
Yeah, so Dr. Doom has assembled all of these other villains. Him, Red Skull, Magneto, who else was in there? Baron Zemo. And they have a day called V-Day, which is Victory Day, where they killed all the heroes. Like Captain America's dead, Tony Stark's dead, Instead of killing the Hulk, what they did is they threw him into an exploding nuclear reactor and made him immortal and crazy. So, anyway, so all this stuff is happening. Well, you pick up the story 30 years after that's happened, and all of the characters are incredibly jaded. They're deeply disturbed by the effects of the deaths of all of their friends. They're not the people that they once were. And each one of them is kind of in a different place. Like Hawkeye, Wolverine just like wanders the world. Like he hasn't talked to anybody in 30 years because he survives. Hawkeye is bloodthirsty. Black Widow, and you don't really know if it's Yelena or Natasha, is partially in hiding, maybe partially fighting, but she's getting older. She's aging for some reason. So there's a lot of things going on, but the characters changed a lot over that time because of the traumatic things that they went through. I think with Luke, everything happened so quick, and I know how quickly I have become jaded for things and just want nothing to do with people that were very important or influential in certain parts of my life, whether because of my mistakes or theirs. That I was able to relate a lot more to Luke's character in this one than I was the whiny teenager. I was never allowed to be the whiny teenager, but the guy who's like, screw it, I don't want any part of it. Like, I screwed a bunch of stuff up, but I can't fix it, so leave me alone. I get that because I've been there at different points in my life.
I get that.
Yeah. That's why I like this.
I just don't like it.
Portrayal of him, because Leia was really if we're being honest, Leia was always the one who had the plan and was the brains of the operation, even in the original 3.
Yeah.
Like
Luke just didn't want to
4,
be a
5, and
nerf
6.
herder.
Yeah. And he wasn't. He was a sister smoocher, but he wasn't a nerf herder.
All right. You got anything else?
Yeah.
Not really.
I've got a couple of points.
All right, let's go.
One of which
Ding,
is
ding. Round one.
One thing I want to say again that I like. There's some good stuff. I did what I said I would do, which is go in with an open mind.
Yep.
It was early on a Saturday. No one else was up, so I was like, I'm gonna sit here, get comfy. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I watched Star Wars. This is a good day.
Because I don't want you to like this movie necessarily, but I do think an open mind is an important thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Again, the things that I like, frankly, haven't changed. I always loved a couple of those scenes that are beautiful. This is the first time for me that Yoda has come back.
Oh yeah,
because in all the other ones he's CGI. They didn't capture what I thought is like the character of Yoda. They got him here,
and we get the "My stick is better than bacon" song.
They get to make the song, but I love it. He delivers a great line of I just had it. The greatest teacher failure is.
Yeah,
great lesson.
Love it.
He had great delivery from Frank Oz. It's a puppet. That is Yoda.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
I 100% agree.
I don't understand why Rose was in the movie. I don't understand what Finn had anything to do in this movie. Because everything that they did amounted to nothing.
Yeah. It is so on the one hand, it's the Indiana Jones complex.
100%.
Right?
100%. You take Indiana Jones out of the movie, the same result happens.
Yeah, nothing. For sure. Nothing changes. But
Indiana Jones is cool. Finn and Rose are not. They're not doing anything.
I would levy this. You do not need Finn. Period.
Yeah.
But
at least he had some role to play in the last one. In this one,
but so that's what I would say. If you took him outside of him helping Poe escape. Like, and he doesn't even really help Poe escape. Poe does all the escaping. Yeah. Yeah, like if there's no Finn.
He kind of nudges him.
Right.
And that's kind of about it. Which can be powerful.
It can be, but
you nudge a boulder.
Let's be done.
It can knock off.
Let's either make the character something interesting or get away from him.
That's kind of my big complaint, is their whole story arc with Rose and Finn deciding that they want to take advantage of this one cycle in the shields, but they got to go find a hacker on this casino planet. And when they get there, they get distracted because of capitalism, and they go on this whole rant on it, and they free the horses, and they go back and they get on the ship and they get captured, and then they didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, what happens is that they use two characters that didn't add very many plot points to kill Phasma.
Yeah.
Which likely would have happened anyway. She just might have been in a different location, and that's in my opinion, that's a wasted character.
And then I wrote down here, when I don't know what the speeders are called, when they're driving in, he's trying to hit the big machine that's trying to blow up the shield.
Yeah.
Right. He decides he's going to do a suicide mission. Right. Mm-hmm. And Rose comes out of nowhere and saves him. I put Rose saved Finn from the suicide mission to make sure neither one of them has anything to do this whole movie.
It should just be stated that the actress that played Rose did a phenomenal job with the part she was given.
Sure, I don't have anything to say about her as a person.
I just think that that's an important thing to say because
the story.
We've talked we haven't really talked. We've alluded to how toxic the Star Wars fandom
that's
can be.
Fair to say.
She is great.
Yeah,
her portrayal of the character.
She's gotten a lot of heat. Ahmed Best has gotten a lot of heat for their portrayal. That's not what I'm talking about.
No,
I don't like the story.
This was a bad writing decision to have them in there.
I think they could have done something great if they had been given something to do.
And I don't know what. And this is the thing with what happens in episode 9 is you could have done something with all of these things that got set up, and they chose not to.
This is funny. It's kind of like Camden's review, but Danley has a lot of thoughts, and he wants to take over.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I mean, this is why we're talking about these movies.
That sums it up. That there's a lot I liked, and I didn't like the story almost at all.
What did you think about the connection between Rey and Kylo?
It was good.
Camden, what are your thoughts there?
It made it compelling. It made it compelling to me that they're growing their relationship. It could either turn up in a fight. I'm trying to think of what it's called, a showdown.
Yeah.
Or hopefully they become friends, and she draws him to the light side like Luke did with Vader. That's a nice connection that she even mentions to Luke that he can be saved still. I like that.
I really enjoyed parts of it, but Ben Swolo was so. You know what I'm talking about? No. When she has that connection with Kylo, and he's got his shirt off, and his pants are like way up above his navel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
that was in the last movie, wasn't it? That was
it was in this one.
That was in this one.
Whoops.
Yep. No, you're fine. So Levi has these pants that he gets from Kirsten has this company she likes called Lulu, and the pants for the baby are very high. And so like I'll be, getting ready to change his diaper or changing him into like a onesie for the night and take his shirt off, and he'll have these pants that are like way up to the bottom of his pecs, and I'll just send his mom a picture and be like, Kylo Ren's in our house. That's what it looks like, little Levi Swolo. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of some of that stuff. I do think the reuniting Luke with Chewie was an interesting thing. Mm-hmm. There again were a lot of
feels like
of
a different
parallels.
Chewbacca though, and I don't just mean because the actor has passed, Peter Mayhew.
Yeah,
it feels like a different character. I don't know
why. He didn't really do much.
I think it feels like a different character because of Mark Hamill, and I do think that this is part of the reason that the portrayal of Luke is so weird. And him and John Boyega have come out in the years since this movie was made and have made a lot of noise about their dislike of how their characters were used specifically in this movie and throughout the series. Okay. I think part of the performance issues that Luke's character have to do with Mark Hamill still acting like a pouty 19-year-old when it came to this character and what he thought it should be and what it should do. Like
all of a sudden, Mark Hamill thinks he's Harrison Ford.
Yeah, and there are some things that like when Han Solo dies, I think really add to the series, and Luke's portrayal as a bitter old man really does seem to match where Mark Hamill was at this point in life. And so it felt like, oh, you know what? This shouldn't be so difficult for him to pull off. But it seems like it was really difficult for him to pull off because he was a bitter old man that wanted to do anything but play himself. It's like, what? Why not lean into that instead of just criticize it?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So
if he had gone real grumpy and I'm tired of training people that, because he had turned his back on the Force, which seems stupid. I don't get that decision.
Yeah, there are a few Star Wars characters
train
that do
more
it.
people.
Yeah.
But not for Luke. I don't know.
No, yeah, I understand.
And maybe this part is compelling because of that it's such it feels like a little bit of a betrayal of the character.
Yeah.
That I've loved for so long that you've seen what the Force can do. You've seen it redeem your father before he died. Like, why are you so defeated? Because I get there was a really having his student betray him and kill all of his, like, that's horrifying.
But also, like, he started that reaction, right? Because he let himself be overcome by fear, and kind of starts that reaction. So it's really odd.
I don't like it.
But I liken this a lot to people that like fall away and then come back to church. Because you've got a certain group of people that like they've seen God do things in their lives, they've seen God help them out or whatever, but like one thing happens or doesn't go their way or whatnot, and they haven't actually practically walked through what it means like to suffer well at any point in life, and so because of that they I hate all church, or all church is blah blah blah, or that I carry this hurt with me, or yada yada. I was the one that made mistakes and I should never re-engage because I'm causing pain to other people. Whatever that looks like, right? It's this selfish part of our nature that drives us away. And I do think that there is something about Luke's story, and he's not interested in this. He's telling other people that they need to give up on it.
It is a compelling character choice because it relates to so many people. I get it.
And then at the end, he kind of comes back around and becomes the sort of the reluctant hero. I am curious, what did you think of that last lightsaber battle between Luke and Kylo, where it was Luke's force projection? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what did you think of that? Did you see that coming?
Not really.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it just like cut to Luke like meditating on a rock, and
I was upset when I
confused.
left because I was like, that was such a great scene up until he was a Force ghost, which is still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I couldn't wait for him to rip out that green lightsaber, and it never happened.
Yep.
I was upset. I still am a little upset.
I'm with you. There is some...
But it's pretty cool to be force projecting from another planet.
It's an interesting level up that they were given,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one last question for Camden. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you think...
Mm-hmm. What does you think
going into the next movie with the decision to make Rey's parents nothing but junk traders who sold her for drinking money, according to Kylo Ren?
What do you mean? Like,
so she's questioning her heritage, right? How she got on this planet and who they are, and he says, right?
Yeah,
what's going on, and it's that. Your parents sold you for drinking money. They're just junk traders or nobody. Your parents are nobody.
I remember that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Because
on that?
Just what are my thoughts on
some additional context, like we talked about, we were all hoping leading up to this that she was a Skywalker, right, or somebody of important. And it turns out that if her parents are nobody, is she a nobody? Which is, I think, the question that we were left with at the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is definitely a nobody.
I love the idea that she's nobody.
For sure.
I love...
Nobodies do great things.
I love the potential that's there when she's nobody. All right,
but it is a devastating blow to her in that moment.
Yeah,
when she kind of admits to herself.
That's why she didn't want to leave that one planet.
Yep.
Because she was waiting for
She kept waiting for him to come back, and they were going to be...
Jakku.
These people of import that have something to offer her, and it turns out... According to them, that they don't.
Womp womp. Camden,
that's my name.
What storyline are you most looking forward to seeing wrapped up in episode 9 as we come to an end of Camden Becomes a Star Wars season 1?
Dang, this is just season 1.
Yeah, because I think
there's more
I think we're
stuff.
gonna continue to call this Camden Becomes a Star Wars, even when we do it with Lord of the Rings. Camden Becomes a Star Wars.
Willow.
Lord of the Rings. So
Camden Becomes a Star Wars. When Harry Met Sally.
yeah,
It's a great movie.
yeah, it's pretty good.
I know there's a question there, but
No. What storyline are you most looking forward to seeing wrapped up?
we got off track with the
When Harry Became Sally.
naming.
By Ryan T. Anderson.
Yeah.
What happens to Kylo Ren?
Oh, okay. So do you have a prediction sure to go wrong?
Do you think he's gonna go?
Sure to
Do you think he's
wrong.
gonna go evil? He's gonna turn good? Is he going to
Start an emo band?
go
yes,
gray?
probably.
He's gonna go gray. It was a very popular hair choice whenever this movie came out. A lot of girls were going gray
Or
intentionally.
purple like Holden?
Holdo.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She's
I didn't
terrible
like her.
and she's gone now. I feel like she stole the spotlight from General Akbar. I think General Akbar.
Yeah, who
This was
dies.
another huge
Yeah.
complaint I had is when she
Admiral
turned
Akbar. But yes.
Admiral Akbar,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
she turns the ship around. That should have been him going down with the ship, and he should have said, "It's a trap," and then warp speed.
Yeah, you want to talk about fan service? That would that would
it's a trap.
Boom.
Destroyed.
I,
Everyone would have stand and cheered, and then
With
we all
that-
would have talked about later
Yeah,
how
that would've
candy
been-
that
that
was.
would've
This
been a
is
great
this is
ending.
my final piece on this. I hated her character all the way up
too.
until when she did that. And then it made me think about her a little bit more. I was like, okay, so she really did care. She wasn't
She
trying to
did.
put people in
I agree.
danger, like all of this kind of stuff. And then I thought about just from a pure, like, and obviously movies are suspended reality, but from a pure leadership perspective, the difference between Poe and Han is that Han was never the guy that they all relied on. Han was the guy that got to swoop in, be the hero.
Yeah, he always ducked out. He's like, I got my money. I gotta go.
Yeah, get high fives. Everybody was happy to see him, and then he left. They depended on Poe to follow orders, and other people's lives were dependent upon that. And he betrayed them in one of the most pivotal moments. And so, like looking back at it, I thought about that, and then when I went for the second watch, I would have been like, man, if I was like, if this is a guy that we sent out with this mission, like if we're
I'd
in
be mad at
Holdo's
him, too.
shoes, like he's court-martialed. I've got him in jail. Like you just cost,
Leah benched him, and she was right.
yeah, like you just cost hundreds of lives.
Yeah.
And maybe just lost us like
Great,
our most
you got
strategic
a
position.
dreadnought.
Yeah, no, sorry.
There's
and he's
more.
like, well, I don't believe in your, when he comes back and is fighting all of those things, I'd have been like, shoot him.
Yeah.
Like he can't take it.
That's what Washington would have done. George Washington?
Quite possibly.
Dude, he put down some rebellions, by the way.
He did.
There are people not following orders, and he went in, hung all of them.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he was.
General Washington was a man.
He did not mess around. And that's the kind of leadership you get when you put girls like Carrie Fisher in charge. No, he's cute. Keep him.
Yeah.
He reminds me of my dead ex.
He's rascally. I kind of like that about him.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, ding the little bell so you get notifications when new episodes come out. We got one more left. Camden Becomes a Star Wars Episode 9 on the way. You guys stay hard. Keep jamming. We'll see ya.